Once again, we are back. Haha! I can't believe I actually managed to get this weave net actually working all the way out here in the middle of Kalimshan. Sometimes I even surprise myself. For those that are unaware, we are currently in the middle of a fucking desert. We're in the middle of a desert. We're in Kalimshan at an actual factual archaeological dig site in the middle of this. I'm guessing it was the previous location of some kind of a tower or something like that. We've already found some of the stuff we found has been rather fascinating, but we've also found some nasties that have been waiting for us. Exactly, Iapetus, with camels and a red drake. I don't know about y'all, but I haven't found shit since I've been out here. Leave it to Salus to be able to find everything. Although I have managed to get plenty of goodies. I appreciate the help. I appreciate the help with the scorpion. You know, believe it or not, I think that scorpion venom is going to be very useful. Because I'm thinking about incorporating it into into a pair of daggers that I was planning on working on for Salus. Yeah, but at the same time, Iapetus, you gotta look at it like this. All they see us is a bunch of snot-nosed kids that don't know anything. Little do they know what we've done, where we've been, and what we've killed so far. Oh, finally got the recipe for pork chops, huh? Pork is a very, very underappreciated kind of meat. It's very... above all else, I love pork. You've not found a damn thing? Salus and Lucy keeps finding everything? Makes sense. Yeah, those two, they just keep on getting the drop on everything. It would appear that I have a giant bird in my chat. Not surprising. Although, I work with a number of Owlin, so not surprising. Yeah, but to be fair, they also decided to let us snot-nosed kids excavate an ancient site. Yeah, true. But at the same time, they probably pre-excavated the site and got a lot of things of value, and then let the kids come in to play around in the sand a little bit and play grown-up. I'm willing to bet that they went through, found a lot of the artifacts already, and then let us come in and, you know, let us find what's left over, and they just didn't expect us to be able to find something as big as we did. I mean, I'm not from this world, but at the same time, I kind of feel like something along the lines of Karsus's folly is kind of a big deal. and any kind of records of what happened back then is pretty significant. Let alone half the stuff that we found inside those treasure chests. Well, they're not exactly treasure chests, since it wasn't a dungeon. It was a ruin. But you know what I mean. So what I'm thinking is take those fangs that I managed to grab from Gru, and I kind of want to turn them into a dagger, but hollow them out just a little bit so that I can place a small funnel into the base of the dagger. I'd have to reinforce it though, so it wouldn't snap off easily. But so take the handle of the dagger, hollow it out just a little bit, enough to be able to put a vial into it or something, and then have it run up into the blade. So when you activate the dagger, the blade can actually secrete the venom or the poison that is in the handle of the dagger. Or like find some way to combine the giant scorpion venom with Gru's venom and use that to strengthen the poison of the dagger. Because I imagine that Gru, being a dragon that specialized in poison, like, his fangs alone are going to do some pretty nasty damage. Let alone what else we can do if we add something else onto it. Because from what I understand, Ohio Jimmy, or whatever the hell his name was talking about how scorpion venom is pretty potent. What was that guy's name? Ohio Jimmy, Montana Jack? I don't know. I wasn't paying too much attention to it. This should be just enough to be able to upgrade this table. Perhaps we can check the Biblioplex when we get back for the anatomy of dragons and scorpions. It may give some insight as to how to replicate the venom secretions in the dagger. Plausible. Definitely plausible. What the hell is a Montana anyway? I swear, humans have the weirdest names I have ever seen. Like, who calls their child Steve, or Bob, or Travis, or Nick? What kind of names are that? Your guess is as good as mine. I'm still trying to figure out what a gym is. Isn't gym short for gymnasium? I don't know, maybe they really like getting their workout in. Who's to say? Right? When he said his name was Montana Jim, I immediately thought of a room. Interesting theory. Interesting theory without a doubt. Oh, Iapetus. I have been consulting some of my chef allies and friends and colleagues, and we're going to be having our menu for you know what set up before long. Would you believe that apparently some humans name their offspring after cardinal directions? What? Like north? Or south? Why would a human name their child east or west? You think human names are weird? Try the supposed shortened human names that come from some names. Ah, like Belky does. How she gives everybody a nickname. Hold up, there's a human named Northwest? Are you serious? What's next? They're gonna start naming humans after inanimate objects like Blanket? Oh wait, they've already started doing that with Jim. What are the planes coming to? Am I right? I mean, some of the planes are really weird. Like Iapetus, you should really see some of the creatures that wander into the diner. Like, we get people from all across the multiverse in there. Although the ones that really freak me out are the illithids. Like, I don't know why, but every time an illithid shows up in the diner, they just stare at me, and it creeps me the hell out. Oh, it's fun. It's absolutely fun, although I see more of the back than I do the front. You should see the storeroom. The storeroom is massive. Ah, Mizuki. Greetings and salutations. Welcome in. Frank isn't bad once you get to know him. He's just a little crass. But the Illithids, I don't know, there's something about them, like, I can almost see the malice behind their eyes when I look at them. Oh, they absolutely are. Like, I adore Alder. Let's see. I love the what is the term that Bilky uses? I believe it's quote big himbo energy that that Alder gives off. Dolfu, I love that man. That man seems like he gives the best hugs. Not to mention the Boba twins. Yeah! Dofu is the big cuddly panda trader. The one that trades ingredients for other ingredients. That man is sweet, that man is kind, and if anybody tries to hurt him, I will destroy them. Oh, he has amazing fur. Like, I want to know what his routine is. The art style in this game is very interesting. How it's strange. They're not quite as far as like a Harengon or a Tabaxi, but it's like they're crossbred with humans. Possibly. Like, look at this man. Tell me this man is not a himbo. This man actually leans over to talk to your tiny ass. I'd climb him like a tree, I tell you what. I would absolutely climb that man like a tree, no doubt. The villagers in this town are very interesting. I find it interesting how it appears that the wolf people are the town guard. It's interesting how different species in this town seem to have different socio-economical statuses. Mizuki would need climbing gear with their short ass. I could probably build you some climbing gear. Really now? Now, Ieptus, I'm a man that loves some Big Daddy energy. My father is a bear of a man, and I love him dearly. Nero, however, is also a bear. Oh, nice. What species of bear? Brown bear, black bear, grizzly bear, panda? Or are you referring to bear in the generalized term of a very, very tall, very stacked man? Teddy bear? Ah, I understand. The kind of man that you just wanna grab, drag into bed, wrap yourself around them, and never let them go, ever. I get you. Tall and stacked? Nice. That's how we sleep in the winter, because it's cold and he is a heater. Oh, mood. Like right now, we are in the middle of the Kalimshan Desert, and it is cold as fuck out here. Like, I'm from a tropical jungle. I'm from a rainforest. I'm not built for the cold. I literally feel my fur thickening as we speak. Yeah, my bio dad was tall, or at least he seemed like it to me. He would also shift to help me reach fruit on trees, so tall. Well, I imagine that if, given the way that the way that I've learned that your family is with Daedalus and the Von de Ventes, I imagine that he'd be tall given just how young you were at the time. Like, say, for example, everybody's tall to my father. But then again, he's what? 3 foot? 3'6", I think? Oh my god, now I understand where I get the urge to climb tall people. Ah, shit, I got it from my father. Fuck. Story for another time? I get you. Now that I sit here and I think about it, I do have a number of my father's tastes. Shit, I really do. Now that I sit here and think about it. Alright, Iaptus, spill. Who's your type? Like, we have an idea about my type. You've seen that as long as you're not an asshole, I'm willing to work with you, but what's your type? And we all know that Belky wants to ride the dragon in more ways than one. Yeah, your type. Are you the type that doesn't have a type? Like, I've encountered people that were arrow, I believe the term is arrow ace, where like romance just doesn't give them any kind of pause. They don't have a type. Visually, I don't have a type, but blue eyes are a plus. You sound like me a little bit, Mizuki. When it comes to me, love is love. And I love love in all of its forms. As long as you don't have the personality of a ditch filled with raw sewage, you know, I'll give you a shot. Sultan's super pretty? Yeah, he is. But we also know what's under that pretty exterior. And Belky has eyes on that man. As long as we can get along, I'm good. I get you. And you can't judge a book by their cover because not too long ago, I believe it was a couple months ago, I ended up going on this date with this giant fuck-off Minotaur. Like, head of the Blood Bowl team Minotaur. And turns out he was just the sweetest sweetheart that you could ever see. The dude read me poetry. He took me to the Bows Inn Tavern, bought me dinner, we had a lovely conversation, the guy read me poetry. It was beautiful. And the next time he comes, and the next time his team is playing our team, you better believe I'm going after his ass again. Going back to names, I did not expect a Minotaur to be named Phyllis, but hey. Oh, you're drawn to the clever charmers, huh? Never count out the shy ones. The shy ones... The shy ones are interesting because you kind of have to warm your way past their shell before you're able to really get to them. But at the same time, once you're able to get behind their shell, you can start to pull them out of it just a little bit. Girl, he was thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Oh no, I absolutely was the shy one. Like, I used to be this super shy, super nerdy, you know, never mind my own business, don't go looking for love. And then she happened. And she just reached into my shell, grabbed me, and pulled my ass out. You'd be surprised what confidence can do to you. And you'd also be surprised as to what's the common word for it? Oh, we spilling the tea now, girl? Are we spilling the tea? So back in the day, let's see, what was it? So I managed to get my father ended up making a deal to get me into a magical academy since he'd shown that I was starting to become interested in that kind of thing. Like, I didn't have any aptitude in like the bardic arts like he always had, but I still had some kind of arcane talent. So he ended up getting me into this school. It was on another plane of existence, just like Strixhaven. But it was one of those schools where I think it was a school that one of his business partners used to go to. Because it was this weird, like, military academy. Where one part of the school was designed to train marshals. One part of the school was designed to train, like, clerics and the divine casters, and there was another part of the school that was meant to focus purely on the arcane. And so one day, I'm just sitting under a tree minding my own damn business, just trying to be as small and make as little waves as possible. At that point, I was working on trying to fill out my spell book. I was trying the whole wizard thing at that point. And it wasn't great, I'll be honest with you. I was kind of a shit student whenever it comes to, like, memorizing spells and figuring out, like, the formulas and scribing the spell books and all that. Like, I tried to do what Daedalus did, and I tried to do what you do, Iaptus, and it just was not for me. But eventually this white-furred tabaxi woman ended up showing up. She was this... I think she called herself an Asian lion. I believe that was her species. I've never heard of anything like that. She was completely white from... her fur was completely white from head to toe. But she had these black stripes all over her. Almost like a tiger. Maybe she was just like a white tiger and she called herself a lion for whatever reason, but that doesn't really matter. But she had this... Her hair was this stark bright, like, red. Just this eye-catching red. And we end up hitting it off. And I introduced myself, she introduced herself, and we started, studying together. Turns out she was studying to become a priestess of a love goddess. The more common name of this goddess is called the Green Lady. From my studies, I've heard that this is they oftentimes take the form of a pixie, and they've been known to fly around and sprinkle this dust over people's heads to cause them to fall in love. It's a similar theory to, what is it? Some cultures have this entity called, I believe it's called Cupid, that acts in a very similar manner to the Green Lady. And from what I believe that she's a spring fae, but she resides and controls all manner of love, both platonic love, familial love, and romantic love. And so I started assisting her. Her name is, I've always just called her Naya, Naya. But that's not her full name, and I won't announce her full name for privacy reasons, let's just say. So I met her, and of course she would help me study my wizarding stuff, and she would help me practice spells. One thing that we used to do is we would practice concentration control of being able to hold a spell. And it was, what we would do is one of us would cast a spell like, dancing lights or something that would require concentration that had a clear visual aspect if we lost control of the spell. And it would be the other's job to do whatever they could to disrupt the concentration without physically harming the other person. And those games were interesting, to say the least. I won't go into... Let's just say if you have a creative mind and you're a bit of a prankster, you can have so much fun messing with somebody with a game like that. Because you can, during that game, you're allowed to cast spells on your friends. And especially the illusionary spells or sensory control spells are very effective whenever it comes to distracting and, making you break concentration. Oh, absolutely. And that's why we were doing it, because of the fact that we trusted each other. We knew how far we could push the other, and we knew where to stop. But at the same time, we were pushing each other to make ourselves better in terms of concentration. I got very, very good at blocking out. Her spells and what she did. But as she would help me with, I'm thinking of how to word this properly. Common isn't my first language. So as we were continuing to work with each other, and she was helping me study and helping me figure out my magics, I would be helping her with some of her rituals. And you can imagine some of the rituals that a love goddess would hold. Of course, she would only take me as... Of course, it would only go as far as I was comfortable with. She would never, like, pressure me to go any farther than what was comfortable for me, or she never made me go past my boundaries. But at the same time, I think that oh, what was your first language, Endair? You were like her apprentice or her muse. I think I was kind of more akin to her muse. Have a good one, Mizuki. I appreciate you stopping by. And send Nero my regards. And so, my first language is Tabaxi, of course. Let's see. My first language was Tabaxi. My second language was Common. Then I learned Draconic from my father. And my mother taught me Elvish. My father insisted that I learn Draconic because that's the language of the Empire of Flames up north. So, eventually, I would assist Naya with her rituals, with her prayers, so on and so forth. Because many of those you needed a partner, due to the fact that the Green Lady is a love goddess. You needed somebody that you have a strong emotional connection to. So I would assist her with this, and over time, I noticed that I began to develop these abilities that I didn't have previously as a wizard. Like, say, for example, one of the abilities that I figured out that I could do is I could change my shape. I could alter my form. And it was small at first, you know. Just making sure, am I still online? I just noticed something, something happened, and I'm wanting to make sure that I'm still here. Hey, Iapetus, have you, take a look at the, weave. Okay. That's what I just saw. Yeah. Okay, so the school information is, looks like it's currently undergoing some maintenance. Okay. I was wondering what was going on. Yeah, I've noticed that there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to drop character for a second. Yeah, it looks like Discord has gone down, at least some aspect. I see, I've got like 5 or 6 Discord servers that are currently down. But that means that I may have to reboot the share stream. Thankfully, nobody was in the call with me at the moment. Interesting. It's weird how it's only some Discords. Oh well. Going back into character, I appreciate the heads up, Zai. So, I noticed that, like I said, it's weird. It started off just small things, right? It started off small with just like color. Like I could only change the color of my fur, or I could change certain aspects of me, but eventually it got to the point where I could change everything about me. Like I could become an entirely different species, and it's not just like illusory kind of magic either. Like I actually change, which was kind of weird as hell the first time that I changed gender. I eventually, like, Naya and her friends thought that it was hilarious when I accidentally changed from male to female at one point. And from that point on, they insisted that I was, quote unquote, one of the girls. And they insisted on dragging me out to every single one of their girls' nights out. But I had to change into my other quote-unquote persona before I could go out. They made me pick a new name for it. They made me get new wardrobe. They made me get a new wardrobe. They made me get a lot of stuff at that time. It was weird. It was unusual. But, I don't know. They went along. They thought it was funny at the time, so I went along with it. And eventually, I got used to it. I got more used to it. And I started figuring out how to be able to modify and change spells. At one point, I was trying to make my own spells and modify my spells. So, the first spell that I tried to modify was Mage Hand. Because Mage Hand was a cantrip. Mage Hand is one of those spells that you're able to modify, and that's like magic kindergarten kind of stuff, right? So you're able to do that kind of thing all the time. So I eventually tried to make a modified spell of Mage Hand where there was multiple Mage Hands. Like, I tried to get like 5 or 6 different Mage Hands going all at the same time and being able to, act independently depending on what I told them to do. And it started to be successful. I could get a couple of them, but it wasn't until I tried to actually cast the full spell that things went wrong. So, I casted the spell at maximum value, as strong as I could cast it at that point, and 10 different hands appeared. I thought, hey, this is amazing. I have 10 Mage Hands. What I didn't realize at the time was they had minds of their own. And then I quickly learned, because the 10 hands then grabbed a bunch of rope and tied my ass up. Like, they hog-tied my ass and left me laying there when I lost concentration of the spell. It was 4 hours that I was there, laying on my bed, hog-tied and completely trapped, until Naya walked into my room because she hadn't been able to find me anywhere. I wanted to shrivel up and die. I absolutely wanted to shrivel up and die. And eventually, we would be able to... I eventually got let go after a lot of laughing. It took her, I don't know, about 2 or 3 minutes to get off of the floor where she had fallen over laughing at me. And another couple minutes to where it took me to convince her that me being tied up was not a good look for me. To which she disagreed. So eventually, I managed to get myself unbound. And our group dynamic was interesting. It was myself and Naya. Then there was Wendy. She was a rat folk. I think the official term is a Nezumi. She was the sneaky type. She was to that group what Salus was to our group. She was the super sneaky, never gets noticed, incredibly shy, like, to the point of detriment that she was so overbearingly shy and timid. But at the same time, when she flips that switch, she gets vicious. I don't know if she had multiple personality syndrome or what, but we had the final member of our group was Talia. And she was a full-blown tiger. She reminded me so much of my mother, it wasn't even funny. Like, she was the type that was straightforward, to the point, as subtle as a brick through your window. Like, the best way I could describe her was she was a great axe-wielding barbarian. Like, she did not care. As soon as that switch got flipped, she would rage. And when she raged, things got broken. A lot of things got broken. Like, you should see that woman in a bar fight. Good gods. That woman would mess you up, without a doubt. And eventually, I know that I'm saying eventually because I'm trying to compress about 2 years worth of my history into, you know, less than a couple hours. Love is most definitely a powerful weapon. And then I don't know why. I absolutely don't know why, but at one point Naya thought that it was a great idea to surprise me. So we just got finished with one of the girls' nights out, and I was still in my other persona. My other persona, I was forced to pick another name for it because, you know, a woman walking around named Endair isn't exactly normal. So I had to pick another name to go by in my other form. I chose Aphira. Aphira. I think that's how you spell it. Or is it Aphirah? Nonetheless, so we get done with a girls' night out. Basically, it was a game night. We decided to play this board game, and so I go back to my room, and of course, given that I was able to shift from one form to the other, they changed me. They basically moved me out of the boys' dorms into a different dorm. I think they moved me to like the non-binary dorms or the transgender students' dorms. And so I go into my dorm room, and there's a guy in there waiting for me. Not just any guy. A fucking prince. Legit. Like, a legit prince was waiting for me. I heard about this guy. He was a samurai. You know, like he was a martial fighter. Currently going to the school for, I don't know if it was some kind of a cultural exchange program or what. But he was he wore this navy blue kimono. It looked like a wizard's robe with extra steps. He was a Himalayan cat. He was a Himalayan tabaxi. And, you know, long black hair, always had a sword by his side. Apparently he was here to, like, learn tactics and learn learn another form of martial arts, given that he was, at that point, being raised to lead his family's army, because he was the second son in the family. So, given that he was the second son, he was the one that was being trained to lead the army, whereas his brother was being raised to lead the country. So, I walk into my room, and lo and behold, there's a fucking prince sitting in my dorm room waiting for me. Apparently, Naya had set my ass up. Granted, it wasn't anything that would be... How to word this properly. His intentions wasn't nefarious, if that makes sense. It wasn't something that would go beyond my boundaries or what I'm comfortable with, because I have potential. You know what my boundaries are. You know where I draw the line. And apparently, he wanted to... How to word this? He wasn't after anything malicious. He was after knowledge. And apparently, he knew of Naya, and so Naya pointed him in my direction. And we eventually got to know each other very well. Although eventually, I ended up having to transfer out of that school. Cane time. Greetings and salutations. Good morning. So, eventually, he and I ended up losing connection eventually when I ended up having to transfer out of the school. I don't know if it was because of, like, that country was getting ready to go into war, and so they had to empty the schools, or what, but basically, I wasn't able to go to that school anymore, so I ended up getting transferred over to Strixhaven. But the interesting thing is that, given my time helping Naya with her research for the Green Lady and her rituals and so on and so forth, is that apparently I started getting favor, like I said, from the Green Lady. And I had to... At one point, I actually had to go to her temple and be presented in front of some of the higher level priests who had to do a number of tests to confirm if I was favored by the Green Lady or not. Like, they had to do certain tests to determine if I was... I believe the term is in their religion, if I was quote unquote chosen or not. I don't know. I did the tests. I never heard anything back from them, so I have no idea, because it was shortly after that I had to transfer over to Strixhaven. And it was about that time that I lost all of my capabilities. Like, at that time, I was going through kind of a... Oh, what's the word? It's not a crisis of faith. A crisis of self? I was like... I wasn't happy with the whole wizard thing. At all. And so eventually... I kind of just gave up being a wizard. And when I transferred over to Strixhaven, I registered as an artificer. But I'm guessing that just giving up on something like that really angered the Green Lady. So I lost all of my abilities. Not only did I give up my wizarding powers, I lost all the capabilities that I had gained that she'd given me. So I transferred over to Strixhaven as a when I registered for Strixhaven and I transferred over, I registered as an artificer because, you know, even though I gave up magic, I was still very good with the rune work and kind of making objects and tinkering and making gear and, you know, doing this and that and the other. And so eventually I decided to try being an artificer and making that stuff work. And apparently I haven't lost contact because not too long ago, said Prince ended up showing up in one of these chats. So apparently he has access to the Scrynet as well. I'll be honest with you, Iapetus. I'm a lot happier and a lot stronger as an artificer than I ever was as a wizard. And even now that I feel like I'm doing what I love, like I was talking to Salus just the other week, and he thought that given that I wasn't enjoying myself and I wasn't loving what I was doing, maybe why I lost all those abilities in the first place. And now that I'm here at Strixhaven and I love what I'm doing, I love who I'm with, and I'm in a position that I'm able to enjoy what I'm doing and I love what I'm doing much more, I'm in a position where I'm gaining back her favor. Because it wasn't until recently I got my ability to shapeshift once again back. Which I'm sure that some of you have seen. That's another reason why I end up leaving my other wardrobe with Naya whenever I left the old school. Because if I couldn't take that form anymore, no sense in me lugging all those clothes with me all the way. Which means I'm somehow going to have to reach back out to Naya and get my entire wardrobe back. Which, I mean, it shouldn't be too hard. All I'd have to do is make another chest like I made with Mother, and then send Naya that particular chest and just get my wardrobe back piece by piece. I'd have to stuff everything back into the handy haversack, but at the same time, it shouldn't be too hard, right? You know, Iapetus, one day when it's just you and me, remind me to show you Afira. Because from what I understand, I am quite the looker whenever I take that form. Heck yeah, you do. Although, I'm kinda interested. I both want to know and I don't want to know the reaction that Belky's gonna give if Belky happens to see Afira. You're definitely a genius with your crafts. Zealous is definitely onto something there. Yeah, I kind of feel that way as well. Like when he mentioned it last time that we had one of these talks, it kind of opened my eyes and gave me an epiphany to that. It was kind of weird. I get what you're saying, although, I don't know. I don't put too much focus and attention into appearances. Like, who somebody is much more important to me than what they look like. Ah, of course, Iapetus. By all means, enjoy your time with the Drake. I don't know. The thing about I both like and I don't like this room upgrade. I mean, I don't like the fact that there's so little room for tables on the right hand side. Although I am happy that I've got a triple table down the middle. Although I imagine that if I modify things a bit, I could probably push the tables over and put in 2 rows of tables. Although I wonder if that'll give me room to get to run back and forth to the cash register or not. I need to close the restaurant soon. It's funny, as soon as I get ready to close down the restaurant and I give somebody their order, somebody else wanders in. Ooh, steamed shrimp, huh? Alright. Yeah, the guards are the ones that tend to show up super late at night. Ah, cane time. Things are going very well at the moment. Right now, I am in the middle of a desert. I've managed to jury-rig the Scrynet in order to be able to work on this. And let me go ahead and upgrade my my items to as high as I can, and then maybe check. Let's check and see if there's any quests going on. I've been going very well. Let's see. As of late, I'm currently on the middle of a archaeological dig in the middle of the Kalimsham Desert. I've kind of started tinkering with this because my buddy Daedalus has been doing this streaming thing, and I thought it looked fun. Daedalus and I just have been trying this kind of thing, so I figured, you know what? Hey, this seems kind of fun. Let me go ahead and give this a shot and see how I do, especially with the advanced technology that I've figured out how to do. How about yourself, King Time? How are you doing? I need to figure out brewing. A huge monstrous chicken, huh? Is it any relation to the big black chicken that I ran into previously? Oh, that looks nice. Oh, we've got a quest over here, huh? Boy, I am the only restaurant in town. What do you mean you haven't heard of me? I will grab you by your tail and hurl you around and throw you. That curry puff set looks very good, though. Can I afford an upgrade? I can't. I don't know. Maybe if I need to... Ooh, there's an idea. Cheese milk tea. Doing alright, haven't been in the sun in a month. Part of being the night watch is just planning and doing some things with friends on a Yule log hunt soon. Nice! People don't give enough credit to the folks that are a part of the night crew and the graveyard shift. Like, I believe our society puts way too much of a focus on being diurnal, when half of our population has specifically, has not only specifically, but evolutionary focused on being able to be active at night. I mean, look at Tabaxis, for example. We specialize at both diurnal and nocturnal hunting, even though, you know, back home, it's the sun is shining 24/7, 365 days. It's always daytime with us, which makes me wonder why we have dark vision if it's daytime all the time. And Marmaria is weird. I need to upgrade this room. This room is tiny. Or I need to, at the very least, buy some upgrades for it. I've heard tales of times of darkness lasting over 1,000 years. Huh. That's interesting. I have heard of places in the world where there have let's see. I have heard of some events where, some places in the world where it is dark all the time. Like, if it's light in my part of the woods all the time, then it has to be at least someplace where it's dark all the time. You know, I've always wondered how we can see in the dark. We're touched by devils. You'd think that all the devils would mean an overabundance of light. Interesting thought. But it could also be the fact that can't like devils see magic? It might be just the fact that the devils are so magical that they can see other things that normal folks can't. Oh boy. Salas, we have been doing a lot of upgrades as of late, and Iapetus and I had a rather long conversation about all the things that I've gone through from my times in the old school to coming here and everything like that. Best we have to have long to do. I appreciate you stopping by, Cane Time, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Get that laundry done, my friend. Yeah. Right now she's, so, at the moment, apparently, she told Montana that she wanted to take a look and interact with his Drake for a little bit. So apparently she's doing that right now. Also, what kind of a name is Montana? I don't understand human names sometimes. That sounds like a euphemism. Believe it or not, no, it's not. He has a red drake as a companion. And believe you me, I am the master of euphemisms. You know, not sure, to be honest with you. So, Salas, color me curious, my friend. What is your take on this entire situation with the stuff that we found down below? Well, how'd you do there, D. Lil Moon? Much appreciated. It indeed has grown. I've gotten a lot of updates. I've gotten a lot of upgrades over the last hour or so. Much appreciated, although it could look nicer. Like, I'm thinking about buying some wallpaper, some new flooring, and some new tables. Yeah, that pit is definitely something. Although I wonder, just how big of a deal it was that we found a journal from Carsus's folly. Nice. Bag upgrade, get. How much is the next upgrade? I know the school wants the spell scroll. I wonder how much of the stuff that we found in the school actually wants. Well, I'll be real with you, Salus. That's the reason why I gave you. That's the reason why I tossed the book to you immediately, so you could be the first one to get a hold of it and get your eyes on it. Oh, but of course. Ooh, shop upgrade, hello. I wonder if I can fit everything over here in this corner and make it look good. I don't like that. It's functional, but I don't like the fact that it sticks out past the counter. Yeah, let me build a cook nook. Okay, so tough meat's going to be tomorrow. Oh no. I am not dealing with too many cooks in my cook nook. It's my cook nook. Nobody else's. Nobody else is going to be in that cook nook but me. Oh, that looks so good. That looks amazing. Okay, I need 2 caramel cake and 3 cooked mushrooms to upgrade this cheesy milk tea. Something's up with those eggs. But still, that looks nice. We can't let Daedalus have it, though. I mean, get rid of the eggs, and that might be a good breakfast for you, Salus. Yeah, you are. Thick rice noodles and rich, spicy coconut broth, shrimp paste that tingles your tongue, fragrant spices. That sounds like something I'd eat. Oh, he's definitely a tease. Like, I can definitely see him being the type that people would either love to be called Little Kitty by, or absolutely hate to be called Little Kitty by. Yeah, people have been coming at me hot and heavy with all these upgrade requests. I need to go pig hunting because I need to get the fatty meat for you because I want that barbecue feast. I mean, look at all these foods I've unlocked so far. I mean, granted, I don't have a whole lot of tier 4s, but... I'm starting to unlock the tier 3s, even though I can't cook tier 3s yet. But I've gotten every single one of the tier 1s so far. I've got most of the tier 2s. I do like that they programmed the feline agility in here. I think he touched on it earlier, but I'm curious how much of what we find we'll be able to take back. The monetary gains or whatever, but it burned my hide if I didn't get to do some of the relic examination and documentation. Well, tell you what, my dude. I'm in a tent on the south part of the dig site, and I have all the relics in my bag. If you want to examine any of them, just, you know, bring yourself out of that tent you're in and come on down and take a look at them. Also, I don't know about you, but it is cold as fuck out here. After I get done with this, I am absolutely exchanging my orb of direction for a thermal cube. You did. Thankfully, I have fur. Oh yeah, the comfy cloaks absolutely help. Like I have so many like blankets and extra clothes in the handy haversack that I'm going to be just making a pile of cloth for me to just crawl into and wrap myself up in the cloak. Oh, like I'm not surprised that she brought it to the dig, but I'm kind of surprised that that's the only outfit she brought to a dig. Like I'm pretty sure that she thought that we'd be staying in the hotel every night and we'd just be going out of the city to the dig site every day and then coming back to the hotel. The big ass preaching now, cold enough to freeze your ass off. Hells yeah. It's friggin' cold out here in the desert. But once I get this thermal cube going, hopefully it'll not only take care of the heat, but also take care of the cold as well, because I believe the thermal cube sets the temperature in the area to 95. Actually, let me check my book on that. Like, do you know how hard it is to find a 3-inch cube of solid brimstone? So, it's a 3-inch cube of solid brimstone that generates enough dry heat to keep the temperature within 15 feet of it at 95 degrees Fahrenheit. What, the hills? Oh, no. No. Hells no. I'm not going to the hills. To hell with that. I'll just buy it from the school store if I need to. I'd rather go to the Feywild than the Abyss. And coming from somebody that follows a deity of the Spring Court, I don't want to go to the Feywild either. All I'm saying is if you piss into the abyss long enough, they'll eventually throw what you're looking at you to get you to stop. I mean, I suppose I could always talk to that five-headed dragon that keeps giving me the eyes whenever I'm trying to work at the diner. Although Frank says not to go near her because apparently she's on house arrest. I'm definitely not asking the illithids for it because those things just creep me the hell out. It's all a matter of ego in the Feywild. I heard stories of a lizard folk and two of her elven friends talk down an archfey so hard she abdicated her position. Wow. That's definitely a story to tell. I'd be very interested to hear that story. Oh, hell yeah. Much appreciated. That'd be an interesting story to hear. So we're in the middle of the lunch rush, and then we have the tea time rush, and then the dinner rush. I think this is the last day that we're going to do. With the amount of money that we're making per day, I think it's going to be very soon that we're going to be able to pay off the taxes and unlock the next area. Can't wait to see what new debts you find. I swear that everything that is good and holy, if there is another debt after this one, I'm going to find my parents and I'm going to beat their asses. Like right now, I'm at a debt of 10,000 gold. As you should, hell yeah. Mama didn't raise a fool. Mama said beat your ass. Oh no, your mama said knock them out. My mama said beat their ass. My mama don't play that. Like, wild boar are one of the most dangerous things on our island. And you should see the things that my mother will do to a wild boar when she's hunting it down. My mother is 8 feet tall, and she carries a 12-foot long spear. Now tell me that isn't terrifying. Especially when you're on the wrong end of that spear. Oh no, she don't take no prisoners. She doesn't mess around. Speaking of, Salas, you gotta tell me about your parents sometime. Like, we know a lot about Belky's father. We know a lot about Daedalus's parents and Iapetus's parents. We know a bit about my parents. But we don't know a lot about you or Goldblum's parents. Ah. No, I understand completely. If you're not comfortable going into it, my dude, don't worry about it. I'm not gonna push you. Now, some other members of the party might be a little bit more pushy than I am. My dude, have you seen me and the people I associate with? They would have had to do something absolutely monstrous and heinous for me to judge anything. They did something monstrous and heinous, didn't they? Oh my gods. Alright, dude. Sounds like a plan. Although now you've got me curious. All I can say is they raised you, my dude, so they can't be all the bad, right? I still want to climb this man like a tree. Gimme. Gimme. Give me some of these too. It's all stone and orichalcum. I've got so much of both. Ah, gotcha. Understood. Then I will go into it with an open mind. But I think that we're going to go ahead and switch out some tables, save the game, and then I think we're going to call it. That's looking better. Oh, those tables look so much better. I don't know if I like the two being up top like that. Good deal, Salas. Then rest well, get some sleep. Try to sleep when you can, and I will catch you at the dig site tomorrow. Okay, one seat there, two seats there, and one seat on the end. I don't know. I don't know what to do with this table. This table's weird. I can't put a seat there, so maybe put a two-seater here. And another seat. And then maybe put a... No, I can't put something there. Can't put a seat there, so maybe put just a table there. That'd be the same amount of room, but it would get all the extra room out of the table. It get all the extra room out of the aisle. And it would give people room to walk. Let me fix this table. At least put the fancy side on both ends. I think with the next shop upgrade, I'm just going to upgrade to 6 of those long tables and get rid of the stuff on the side. Okay, so that's what I need to upgrade that. I don't have the cash for an upgrade there. All right, I think that is as good a point as any to go ahead and call it for the day. I want to take a minute and thank everybody for coming in. I was thinking that for the upgrade. But I want to take a minute and thank everybody for coming in, hanging out, having fun. I appreciate all of your time. And let's go ahead and let's send you off to somebody. You know, I like Minotaurs, and this person has a Minotaur icon. So let's go ahead and send you over there. So thank you all for coming in, hanging out, having fun. I appreciate every single one of you. Take care of yourselves first and foremost, and send some love over to the to this person. Y'all have a good one now, all right? Bye-bye.